to issues that will go wrong, because Kwame has that ability to do what is right. Let us not fool ourselves. Bringing Joseph Boakai to do what? Why have you done for Lofa County? Why have you done for rehab? Why have you done for himself? People should not fool us around here. We're not stupid around here. We Liberians, we're not stupid. 12 years, they looted this country. More Ali, they all this squandered the country. All sat down. No control. When you thought the arrogant life will speak to people, then we'll still put them back.
I don't know what we did on December 6, 2020, on September 17, this month 17. We want to shake this country because we will launch the rescue mission in Monterey County. We want to shake this country and we want to make sure we will do everything to make sure that Monterey County will give the rescue mission over 600,000 votes. In order to do that, we will be launching the rescue mission on September 17 here in Monterey County. We want to send a resounding message that it will be federal. We want to send a resounding message that it will be what? One round. Thank you, District 14. The next time we see you, we want to see Emmanuel Bond as representative of this district.
As small as District 13 is, we have a little over 115 ghettos. In each of those ghettos, you will have a little over, 50 persons. Among those 50 persons, 90% of them are young persons. So just imagine if you have 50 times 115 times 6, imagine what will happen to the future of Liberia. The future of Liberia will be in serious danger. 115 ghettos in District 13.
We want to say to Liberians, maybe you have not seen real country that gives opportunity. Over the years, people have taken you for granted. They think anything they do is okay. But for us, we say it's unacceptable. Your living quarters must be decent. You must have you don't have to beg people. It's your right to have electricity. It's your right to have water. It's your right to have decent transportation. It's your right to go to shop freely. People have made us to believe that we owe them for everything they do. They're not doing it. It is your right. You elected them to do the right things.
That's the spirit of a true coalition. I'm one of the proponents in propagating the proper agenda, the PAPD. Then today you say, what are open to offer? You supposed to ask me in English?
Are you being supported?
My brother, I'm saying, don't ask me that question. I think the party is under the obligation.
To do for you?
Yeah.
But they aren't doing.
You ask me and you want me to be monotonous. I think...
Are they doing for you?
I said, I think the party is under the obligation.
That expression means they aren't, they ought to.
I said, the party is under the obligation.
They are doing it for you directly.
Speak English, man, I beg you. Let's move on.
You don't want to come straight.
Honorable Sam Andrew, I don't know what you mean. I said, the party is under the obligation because I'm one of the progenitor. Look, Omen, don't get me spirited intellectually because if you get me in the platform, what I will be doing as an emerging political scientist, that what we call political rapporteur, or I will be doing or providing political tutorage on this medium.
Political tutorage?
Yeah.
What is political tutorage?
The art of, tutoring or tutelage. It's tutorage.
Political tutorage?
Yeah. Meaning I will be teaching politically. I'm one of the proponents in propagating the proper agenda, the PAPD. Then today you say, what are open to offer? You supposed to ask me in English?
Are you being supported?
My brother, I'm saying, don't ask me that question. I think the party is under the obligation.
To do for you?
Yeah.
But they aren't doing.
You ask me and you want me to be monotonous. I think...
Are they doing for you?
I said, I think the party is under the obligation.
That expression means they aren't, they ought to.
I said the party is on the obligation.
They are doing it for you directly.
Speak English, man. I beg you. Let's move on.
You don't want to come straight.
Honorable Sam Andrew, I don't know what you mean. I said the party is on the obligation because I'm one of the progenitor.
That is what you get when the hobo pejoratively hobnobs with the hobo bamboozle, razzle-dazzle, razzmatazz politically. He was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is a way of saying the president was fantastic. But his political enemies said he was suffering from what I describe as new mono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Yes, it's a word that is supposed to be called silicosis, meaning a long disease. But in search for the longest word in the dictionary, they pep it up to become a 45-letter word, which is new mono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. What an odium! What an ignominious memento! That even at the barbituration of the so much acclimatized, the same subsidy evacuation and barbituration was condemned by a scrupulous, fastidious, puritanical, boisterous, energetic, and a routine-to-routine, but today, for political somnambulism and malocclusion, reticent, taciturn, uncommunicative, and unforthcoming, meaning he has kowtowed in their poll.
Don't trouble nothing too much, you know.
One, 2, 3, I'm loving you. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, I want you back. 1, 2, 3, I love you. 5, 6, I'm missing you. I want you back. Long time no see. Out your love, I'm lonely. I miss you, and it's too hard to bear. What have you done to me? I'm waking up in the middle of the night without you, and it's so unfair. I toss and turn, reach for you, only my pillows. Soon awake, the morning sun rises, but I'm alone. Hurts me so. 1, 2, 3, I'm loving you. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, I want you back.
It is Monday, my people, and let me say good afternoon to all of you, wherever you are following from, wherever you are listening from. And the show is Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 89.7 with me, Sam Andrews, on this 11th day of September 2023, election year in Liberia, with just 29 days to October 10th. Thank you so very kindly that you join us for the show. Can appreciate you more. Have massive, extraordinary you are. So let's do it together. My name is Sam Andrews.
Thought you could be replaced. I daydream of you and me and how great we used to be. Oh, yeah. And I firmly believe of turning all these dreams into reality. And like a child, I would say it's so easy to you. 1, 2, 3, I love you. 4, 5, 6.
As it is the custom of the show, we can move or do anything without cautioning against any form of electoral violence. We've got 29 days to the elections, 29 days for the candidates, political parties to wrap up, 29 days to crisscross, 29 days to be convinced, 29 days to do everything, and then the expectation of the people as to whether they will make that determination or making the determination on who they send to the executive mansion and who goes to the legislature. 29 days to do all of that. In these 29 days, we have to be very careful. Let's continue to run a clean campaign as we see around with most of the political parties and loyalists, fanatics. Let's keep it that way. Anything short of that could cause a serious problem. I beg all of us all. Over the days, it has been very, very peaceful. No encroachment, no infringement on people's right. That's why a unique campaign atmosphere is. That's what democracy is all about. So let's keep it as simple, non-violent, obedient to the rules, the tenets of democracy. Let's keep the atmosphere just as friendly as we can. Politics is all about friendliness. Politics is all about the issues. And we don't create hostile environment, because if the environment is hostile, you can't really do what you want to do. You can crisscross. You can call your colleague. You can move to your colleague. Your colleague can move to you. Your institution wouldn't operate as the way you want it to operate. A hostile environment is just a bad environment. You want to avoid it. You want to just allow peace to reign. You want to allow a serene atmosphere in these campaign periods to flow. And as we go that way, it's going to be the same on October 10th. So, political parties, independent candidates, thank you. You've been very cooperative. The message has resonated and is still resonating with all of you. You people are the main stakeholders. All of us are stakeholders. From where I sit, I have an obligation, and that's what I'm doing. All of us are stakeholders. All of us are protectors of the country's peace and stability. All of us are protectors of each other. All of us are responsible for a unique, safe, calm atmosphere as we crisscross. Nobody wants to or will take interest in somebody's hurt, somebody's accident, and a lot more. So you've been understanding. Thank you so much, all of the presidential candidates, the independent candidates, the legislative candidates. All of you have been very, very responsive, very, very great. You've been speaking to your people, you've been talking to them, you've been talking in house and outside. Let us keep it that way and prove to the international community, prove to the whole world that democracy has taken seat in Liberia and everyone can attest to it. When we continue this way, it will be so unique and we're going to get the plus sign. So that will take me into our first talking point this morning. Our discussion that will close the show will focus on campaign finance. This we have not really focused on in our campaign. All of the campaigns we have had, the law say that you should spend this amount, president, vice president, representative, senator. But if you look around carefully over the time, you come to the realization that it is only theory. It is only theory. People don't really go by that. So we will look at that at the close, or that will be our discussion. So until then, let's put the bits and pieces together. CDC launched on the 7th of this month at the Samuel, not the Samuel, but ATS, the Antoinette Todmos Stadium. And they made a statement of intent. That's, you will argue one way, and you may be right in your opinion, but this is my opinion. They made a statement of intent. That means the turnout was massive. It was extraordinary. It was a C, SEAC. Have you understood that word? Have you come across that word before? No, it's the same as the word masses. But it goes beyond masses. It goes beyond there. When you can equate it to the expression multitudes of people. When you're saying multitudes, I'm not saying multitude, but rather multitudes. Multitudes of people, you are saying a sea. See that you have people in the hundreds, the 300s, the 500s, the thousands coming from every corner, from every place, and meeting at the melting point or the turning point. The stadium was filled. Outside of the stadium was filled. And then there was this natural cause, the rain. Though the rain wasn't as tense, it wasn't heavy, but it didn't discourage the people themselves. The partisans thronged onto the field. They kept on coming in, and the field was packed. Though the program did not start until 4:20. The party officials came in, followed by the vice president, and there was the expectation of the standard bearer. As I have always told you people, in political campaign, the emphasis is on the standard bearer. You can have all of the people at a political rally. Once the standard bearer isn't there, it dampens the spirit of the people. Once the standard bearer arrives, the people become, you'll see that jubilation, they will be so active. So that's what happened on Thursday at the ATS. That's what happened. So President Weah arrived 10 minutes after 4 o'clock. It was still raining. He came under the rain. The vice president came as per the protocol, and then he came. In no time, the program started. It didn't last long. As many would have thought that it was going to go up to 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30, up to 7. No. The program lasted for less than 25 minutes. And it was carried live on Voice of Liberia. Everybody followed Voice of Liberia, turned into Voice of Liberia, because Voice of Liberia was the only radio station broadcasting it clear from the Antoinette Tutma Stadium. I know that, and I am saying it evidently and emphatically clear because we monitor the other people. They were faint, they were dull. No disrespect, but I'm telling you what Voice of Liberia did. So everybody, even the CEO, was under the rain, taking text messages from all parts of the country. So the president or the program started, and then I think either 3 or 4 items. The invocation, the welcome remarks, and thereafter, the president goes to the podium. He didn't stay long at the podium. Many of you who have thought he was going to say or deliver a long address, but that was not a surprise because I knew it. We talked about it, that what the president would have said in a long row that he hasn't said. He hit the campaign running the first day, going to various districts. So the launch, nothing new to say. The launch is just a summary. And so he rallied his people. He motivated them. He put them in an extraordinary zeal to continue the campaign, what they have done, campaign on the gains they have made, and then get ready for the decider on October 10th. Right after that, it ended. Everybody find a way. But there's something that occurred there. There's something very interesting that occurred on Thursday during the launch, CDC launch, something very interesting. You have to be very sensitive. And this goes for business people in this country. You have to be very, very sensitive. You have to be calculative. You have to discern. Very many of you who are business people, I should say this to you. You got to discern. You got to try to know timing, event. Yes, very many of you felt that the program was going to last up to the evening hours. So they took advantage of it, which was good. But the timing in or the quantity of their business, many people lost, rather. Many business people lost. They have their food, apart from the drinks, the food left over. You know why? Because they felt that it was the usual CDC of staying long. So people will be partying into the night, and people did party into the night, but they did not party into the night at ATS. As soon as the president got through with his address, everybody started to move into the various directions. So you put so much money into it, and you didn't get much of it back, least to say enough. So next time, you be very, very calculative. It is not for you to carry everything, the whole world, to make 1 million profit. It is for you to make what you can make there and then continue the next day. And moreover, it was a sea of markets. Everybody selling here and there. Everybody. So very many of the people, their products left over, apart from the drinks, for the food, it left over. They were calling people here and there. They were calling people to give them. So you have to be calculative, eh? Now, after CDC rally on Thursday, the All-Liberian Coalition Party, ACOP for short, headed by former Finance Minister Lucini Camara, took to their party headquarters to launch their rally. And I should say again, it was another statement of intent going into 2023, October 10th. It was another statement of intent. Another. They pulled crowd. Lucini Camara, I can tell you, he did pull crowd. If anybody will overlook ACOP, well, then you're not reading. If CDC and Unity Party will go into the second round, well, I can recommend to you one of the parties you should be looking at as a potential bring on board ACOP. They pulled the numbers. They got the numbers. We saw them yesterday. So CDC, Unity Party, if you people are the two parties that will be in the second round, then you have to start putting ACOP on your legs for a possible discussion. They pulled the number yesterday. So you're right, ACOP on your possible parties for endorsement or higher list. They pulled the crowd yesterday. They did extremely well, and it was non-violent. Just as CDC rally was non-violent, so was ACOP on yesterday. And my people, that's how it ought to be. Nobody infiltrated CDC rally. CDC partisans did not infringe on anybody's right on Thursday, as far as I know, as far as I saw, because I was there. I saw ACOP yesterday. They were peaceful. They were nonviolent. They did not encroach on anybody's territory. They did not infringe on anybody's right. They had the campaign under that reign. They assembled. Their leader spoke, coupled with the other people, and then in the evening hours, they dismissed. That's how it ought to be. That's what democracy is all about. If you are not a partisan, do not wear the people t-shirt. When you wear a partisan t-shirt and you go there, then you will be branded as infiltrator. and that might cost you something else that you would not want. So ARCO put up the numbers yesterday. They put up the number. You put them on your list, so the two parties, CDC and Unity Party, that will be in the second round. You write down ARCO. I'm telling you, the people put up the number. The number was huge in yesterday. Because second round, you want people who got the numbers. Second round between two persons. The party with the highest vote wins. So if you want to win the second round, then you look at the parties. Now, even though we have not voted yet, to look at the tally sheet from parties' perspective, but you can tell from now. The people say, what they can say in Liberia, they say when the wedding will be colorful, you can tell from the eve. So that's the eve we in. ARCOP show the eve. They show what's going to happen. They got the number, they demonstrated, they showcased that number on yesterday. But the most important thing is they were non-violent. They did not infringe on anybody's right. The police was there. The police coordinated together with their own security, and everything went well. That's how it ought to be. On the 17th, Unity Party will be out. Unity Party will be out on the 17th. They made it clear that they're going to double CDC seed. That's what they say. They're going to double. That means they're going to bring out the number that would double CDC number 5 times. So if anybody think that they don't have the number, let them wait until the 17th. That's what they said. So we hope that it will be as peaceful as CDC was, as ARCOP was, and other political parties that have launched or yet to launch, but they're running their campaign here and there. And it will be good. But we have no reason to doubt that Unity Party rally will not be peaceful. They are peaceful partisans. Their leader is peaceful. Everybody is peaceful. And the party itself. So it's going to be as peaceful as CDC was, as ARCOP was, as any other political party that have launched their campaign. It's going to be that way. When we keep it that way, you'll see that everything will go well for us. Okay. That will be doing it for that. We've got 29 days to go, just so you know. 29 days. The electoral clock is ticking. The National Elections Commission putting the bits and pieces together. As far as they're concerned, they are on top of their preparation. So we are getting there gradually. Day by day, we are getting there. So we are told, what's the number? I think 500 plus. 500 plus females contesting and 800 plus males contesting. 2 of the many females started to discuss the issues. And Woki Dolo is contesting. Woki Dolo feels that women have not been treated right. They've been marginalized. They've been pushed aside. And now is the time for women to be given the chance to make their position known. What they call this affirmative bill, a 30% representation. So she will argue that that is very significant. They've been marginalized. They've been tossed to and fro. The field hasn't been open to them as it is in other countries. But now is the time. If ever was the time to do that, now is the time. Let's have a listen.
We're not even limiting ourselves to that 30% because we deserve more. But how can we fight when we are not there? Because power comes with authority. If I want to speak of inclusion, Priscilla is not in the house. I'm not in the house. How do we say our plans will be executed by those people. So it's about collectivism, because you have 73 legislators, and if you have 5% that pushing this, and you have the remaining people saying they aren't supporting it, what do you do? It's a problem. And that's why we are pushing for more women to enter the house to work along with the men, because there are some good men in the house that feels that with women by their side, a lot of things will be done. And if you want to prioritize your objective, the women objectives too must be prioritized. So it can be handled individually. We are advocating for it. We are pushing that it becomes more, because Sierra Leone now, they are pushing harder, but theirs haven't even been passed, but they have lots of women in the House of Parliament. In Liberia, we still to the back. Now, in 2017, you have only one female representative in the whole of Monserrado County. That is District 4. So what are we doing? So with these messages, with these inclusiveness, we'll ensure that other young women join us to advocate for more space for women to ensure that the 30% be increased. So there should be increment.
Woki Dolo, one of those contestants. But before we move to her colleague, Abraham Devio, Journalist College Jr., thank you for following. You said great presentation. Eugene Jobo, you are following from Capital Bypass. Good afternoon, and thank you so very kindly that you joined us this afternoon. So she is opting, and it is one of her campaign messages. This is one of Woki Dolo's campaign messages. To put this in context, the first thing I can tell you is it is a weak position. They have tried on this and they are making progress, but the progress is steady. Moreover, that steady progress is being weakened by the very women. Here is a classic example. They do not support each other. There is no coordination between them. That's the first thing. Two, you can use that as or for a sympathy vote, because that is not a sympathy. Nobody going to ride on that. Nobody going to take that and say, oh yes, the women representation low, so let's go and vote. All the men, we're voting for women. No, the men go for themselves. The men go for themselves. You know why you people, you women are crying male dominance? It's because the man can go for men. If the man realizes that he's not in the position he can make it, he will give up for a male to go. But a female Liberian would not do it. You know how it has been since we started the preparations of this whole election down to the campaign period. You know the number of discussions that took place. If I told you one, you you would give up. That a given female said that she cannot give up her right for another female. She preferred losing the election. So when they're talking about this women representation, sorry to say, but they just want to sound feminine. That's how they just want to sound, and the male will buy into it. Oh yeah, the women, we gotta support our women. But they are not together. Moreover, there is nothing in life you can have on silver platter. You have to rise up. You have to fight for it. You can get it on silver platter. You can get it just by theory. No, the men don't want to give the women chance. The men are dominating everywhere. They're placing a stumbling block in the face of women. They don't want women to do this. They don't want women to get. But they're not striving. As much as you want the position, you have to strive. And once you got the qualification, you're not going to be denied. Martin Luther King said, great doors have been opened that have not been opened to Negroes. We're not Negroes, but just saying, great doors have been opened that have not been opened to Negroes. But the challenge that we face to enter these doors when they are open, what was he referring to? He was referring to the ability, the qualification, the education. That's what he was referring to. You women got the education. Liberian women Most of you are so great, well versed, highly educated. But what you are lacking, your deficiency is lack of exertiveness. You don't want to exert, you want it on silver platter. And you can get it that way. You can get it. The man will exert effort. So when he's exerting effort, his fellow male makes way for him. And he's backed by his qualification. You want to excel, you want men and women in the house. Yes, that's true. Look at the House of Representatives. Look at the Senate. Put all the women together. It can give you the voice that they need to alter decisions. They can give you the voice that they need to get certain legislations going. They can give you the voice that will outpower the male voice or voices. And you know why the number is low in both houses of the legislature? Because the women in this country have never ever been supportive of each other. They boast of other countries. Those women in those countries, East Africa, South Africa, North Africa, Africa, with the exception of Liberia, they go for their fellow females. They support them. They give them the push. The space is created. In our country, the space is created. You got the space, but you're not exerting yourself. You only begging the question. That's all women doing. That's all I see them doing over the years. They're just begging the question, just sounding theoretical. The people, women representation, we want more women in this. We want more women there. No, you don't have to preach. You have to exert. Now, is it? Her colleague couldn't have been very honest. Her colleague Priscilla will disagree with her. Priscilla will come to say, no. As much as we want women represented in various spheres of our national governance, let us also exert effort. We can sit supinely because we are beautiful, because we've got the structure, because we got all of this. So the men must set the pace and we just walk in. We have to fight. As much as we say what men can do, women can do, the men exerting themselves. So we ought to exert ourselves. She couldn't. Priscilla Cooper, one of the representative candidates, couldn't have put it any better. Have a listen.
I share a slightly different view. Why it is true women should be given, the opportunity or whatever. I don't even think we should be given the opportunity. We should fight for it. I do not want to put any percentage to how many women goes in the house. What happened to 100%? What happened to an all-female legislature? We should not limit ourselves. Fight for a place. Once a female is qualified, make sure she goes on to represent our people. I don't want to put any number to it. Look, women are noted for getting things done. Women are individuals with integrity. And this is why we should look for in leaders in our country. We need people with integrity. You will have all of the good things on your platform. If you do not have integrity to implement them, it's not going to work. And women are very good administrators. We make sure things are done to the fullest. So who better to put there? And this is why in district number 5, our first 100 days, we are going to ensure that education, healthcare, and security are prioritized. Our people will once more know that when a leader is in power, they will feel and benefit from it.
She was very honest. You think she just sounded rhetorical, but that's the reality. That is the reality. If Liberian women can just move away from that dependency, you will see them in various areas. Apart from presidential appointments, you'll see them. But they're sitting and just conducting classes. Women are not afforded the opportunity. Women are not giving. Women are marginalized. You know how many years you've been talking, you've been crying marginalization, you stay crying? In life, when you cry marginalization, you know what you are confirming and affirming? You're not exerting yourself. That's what it means. It's just like blame shifting. When you are shifting blame, you are telling the people who are listening to you that you're not exerting. You're relying on excuses for the people to whom you speak to sympathize with you. When you exert yourself, people know that you are serious, but they're not exerting. Watch it. Watch it. I'm telling you, October 10th, you see how it's going to be. They will not vote for each other. As a matter of truth, they are divided within this campaign period. They are divided. Some of them will put it on party mandate. Some of the parties not fielding candidate. I don't think CDC got female candidates. Most of the parties, they got female candidates. Some of them will put it on party mandate. Some of them will put it on neutral mandate. So they won't vote for each other. So it will always be this way. And I side with Priscilla. I side with her that you start exerting yourself. Drop the complaint. Uganda parliament that has men and women, they never went around complaining. They exerted themselves. They exerted themselves. The various parliament, the Senegalese parliament, everywhere, they exerted themselves. Follow those people. Some of you are well-educated, well-versed researchers. You do it and see how they got into parliament. Apart from the appointment positions, see how those women got in parliament. They exerted themselves. They work it out. They competed with their male counterparts. They rallied their fellow women to get your votes to get there. You don't get votes on silver platter. You don't get votes by just being rhetorical. You get votes from two things. One, rhetoric, that is the issue. When you say rhetoric, you're talking about the issue, how you go about saying it, and then followed by action. Like what do you see around here? The candidates, they are being rhetorical. They selling the message, whichever way they can sell it, whichever way they can polish it. But they are also exerting themselves by moving into places. Sometimes they go into hard to reach places. What are they doing? They're exerting because they need a vote. They want to get there. You don't get to a place on a silver platter. You have to exert yourself. So you women in this country, beautiful, well-versed, well-educated, people of reputation and character, start exerting yourself. When you can exert, you will get the position. Huh? Okay. So that will be doing it for that. And then it will take me to the presidential female candidate on Liberation's League Party, something like that. Sarah Beslow Yanti. She was in the UN sector. She's been in the UN terrain for a while. And a friend of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And she's in. And she said she's in the race to oust or to ensure that President Weah doesn't go back. So it came out that she was influenced to get in the race by former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And the information was that she get in the race to reduce the votes of certain political party, not parties. But she will move to squash that as not true at all.
I'll share a slightly different view. Why it is true women should be given,
Sorry, that's not Sarah Beslow Yanti. Let me see. Trying to get it.
I'll share a...
No. Okay, I think this is it. If I don't, well, then that's it.
Madam Sirleaf is an icon. Madam Sirleaf broke the glass ceiling for all women on the continent and even globally, because where people thought it couldn't happen in Africa, it happened, and it happened here in Liberia. I have benefited from Madam Sirleaf's support in South Sudan, where I convened the first ever International Women's Transformational Leadership Conference in South Sudan, where Madam Sirleaf was the headliner for that conference. She couldn't go physically, But because Madame Salif was the headliner for that conference, other women participated. I'm sure her name was part of the reason why some women participated. And we had former female presidents, Catherine Samapanza, Amina Gurif Fakim. We had, so many women participating, and Amina Mohammed, the DSG for the UN, also participated. But it was because Madame Salif was engaged. I'm sure that added value, and that conference saw almost 500 women from 15 countries in Africa gather in Juba, in South Sudan, the youngest republic, to lift the women of South Sudan. So definitely, for sure, I've benefited from her professionally, and I've benefited from her in terms of aspiration. She's been there and she's done that, and I believe because she's been there and done that, I can do it also, for sure. But in terms of running for president, it has nothing to do with Madame Sirleaf. That's me, and that's God. And it's a decision that's very personal, and it's not influenced by anybody. And just to debunk, because I've heard some of the rumors that people say Madame Sirleaf put me in a race so that I can undercut some votes and so forth. That's all rumors, all myth, all lies. And I think it's unfair to her to say that, because it's not true.
So you have that happening or coming up because we're in a campaign period. But everybody is in the race to reduce everybody's votes. Everybody got in the race for votes. So you expect that. You expect that. Okay. So that will be doing it for the talking points. Our full discussion will focus on campaign finance. Campaign finance. Whether you have ever attempted to know how many dollars political parties ought to spend and how many dollars they have spent midway and how many dollars they got remaining. How, whether the National Elections Commission is checkmating. In other countries, this is very, very key. Very key. If the law say you must spend 500,000, you're operating within 500,000. If you went beyond 500,000, they start to check. As the campaign is on, they are monitoring your finance, your expenditure. And the reason for that is as simple. Yeah, the people don't have time for that. So there's no transparency, no accountability. But the same people who are running, when there's no election, they will lambast other people for being non transparent. Everything you do, you must be transparent in it. So we'll talk about campaign finance from the very elections law and look around you and see whether everybody in line with it. One of the reasons, in my opinion, that this country has suffered and still suffering. You know why is it still suffering? Because the people come to see it and they ignore it. So the next government comes, they see it, they ignore it. The next government comes, they see it, they ignore it. That's how Liberia has been, just revolving. Who else have joined in? Honorable Damon Menyemon. Honorable Damon Menyemon Tia. You are following from Kakata, Magibi County. Thank you very much for joining in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Moses Thomas, thank you so much for joining in. You didn't say where you are following from. Thank you so much. Send your area in as you are following, and we will allow you to know exactly that we got you. So let's turn to you now, and yeah, what you have to say on any one of our talking points. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. This is Voice of Liberia, 89.7 bits and pieces with me, Sam Andrews, on this 11th day of September. 29 days till the close of the campaign. 29 days. Not many days left. 29 days. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You are very low. Finding it hard to get you. You are very low. Let me see whether I can. You are very low. 077 907 907 0880 907 907. You are very low, Chief. I'm trying to get to you as quickly as I can. You are very low. Something is happening somewhere. Okay, let's try it. Let me see. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, try. Let's try 00770 907 907. The line seems to be, I think, giving terrible feedback. So 0770907 Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Terence Green. I'm calling from Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, issues of I do agree with you.
You want to
Because,
change
because
your location.
hello,
You want to change your location, you are cracking.
what?
You want to change your location, you are cracking. I'm not getting you too clear.
Yeah, again, you get me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I said since we don't understand it. Oh, we are single. You have to die before.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm Johnson. Papa.
Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the show, and I've been listening to you. And that's why all it is calling Abdul. That's why you are coming up. We have to be very wise. We are saying early 2025. You have to be very wise and who to follow. Most have been the leader lack of integrity, and most of our leaders don't take responsibility. Our leader, you have to take responsibility. But all our past leader and present leader, they only could and current power to the team, to the West team, and ever in that there's no accountability. So I think you are this time want to be very wise and to know who following and how are we going to be tomorrow. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice day. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. The numbers to have your say on bits and pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 and Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakata, Magibi County 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. 29 days till the close of the campaign. 29 days to the close of the campaign. Presently, the Coalition for Democratic Change is in Salala. They are there. There's Salala, Bon County. President Weah is there presently. Let's see. I want to bring you excerpt of that. I think the president is being presented with something. He's been presented with something. He's running his campaign on that side. He's been presented with something. He hasn't taken the mic to speak yet, but they are there. They are crisscrossing the various areas and they are approaching the difficult time now. Those counties with bad roads, they will have to move there. They have to meet those people. They are as significant as the people they are reaching. So there we're going to see whether they will be able to reach all of those people, and campaign is so exhaustive. So the ceremony stay on. As soon as the president get ready to respond, we will bring you that. But just so you know, he's presently in Salala District, Bond County, with his campaign. Series of presentations are still being made by told the president. He comes off his seat and he's standing right over at the edge of the stage, and the two gentlemen and two ladies are presenting. The lady is the one who is speaking. He's all in blue. Their color is blue, all in blue. So as soon as he gets ready to speak, I will bring you that 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1, Morovia, and Voice of Liberia 89.7, Kakata, Magibi County. Let me say good afternoon to you, Daniel Salif, Secret for Short. Thank you for making it possible from your end. You are there, very vigilant, very committed. Thank you so much, and good afternoon to you. Continue to be as committed as you are. Daniel Salif, Secret, as he's widely known. Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon.
Fine. My name is Emmanuel Chris. I'm calling from Beverly Community.
Let's hear you, Emmanuel.
I want to tell my young colleagues that the government right now coming that we are in, the government is absolutely hard to extend every going to classroom to teach. Any of the mode, you receive a pay that work. If you try to lock it around, it's not easy. So I want to encourage my youth rather than if they will not think fast, just put the government back. The world will be how the extent when you play green, you can go.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling. Have a nice Monday. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. And you are on the Voice of Liberia Bits and Pieces with me, Sam Andrews, on this 11th day of September 2023, election year in Liberia. 29 days to go. 29 days for the legislative representatives to sell the manifesto. 29 days for the presidential candidate. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can get you from that end. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah, you are very you're very low. Something is happening. Something is happening from the phone. Something is happening. Okay, this let's take this break. I just can't get you, sir. You are very low. You think you're hearing yourself, but I'm not getting you at all. That's the problem.
There were slack cases. But now you have political hustlers. People who hustling their ways.
Good afternoon. Something is happening with the lines. The problem not from you guys who are calling in. So please understand. However, the technician is looking at them.
You have political hustlers. People who hustling their ways for their family to eat. They do not have political passion. No. They're not trading with political passion. Louis MPP. From MPP to the Unity Party. From Unity Party to ANC. When Blamo Nelson joined the UPP, he also leaving UPP. Up to today's day, they still UPP members. To ban Nantipote, you saw him flipping from one political party to one political party to another political. But these are the people that Liberia and Liberians do not respect. You have to be consistent. We do not have political consistency no longer. But the first thing, do we have an opposition political party? Do we have opposition? No.
What do you have? What do we have?
The people we having are people who have created a party for the ruling party to call them. And there will be more political parties coming. I think they will certificate more. Some of them will be consistent, and some of them will be inconsistent. Some of the reasons
for the ruling party to call them for what?
For my job. And they promise them jobs. Liberia, we losing all gradually, and we're going 85%, losing naturalness, losing everything.
Slightly different view. Why it is a slightly different, share a slightly different view. Why it is true women should be given, the opportunity or whatever. I don't even think we should be given the opportunity. We should fight for it. I do not want to put any percentage to how many women goes in the house. What happened to 100%? What happened to an all-female legislature? We should not limit ourselves. Fight for a place. Once a female is qualified, make sure she goes on to represent our people. I don't want to put any number to it. Look, women are noted for getting things done. Women are individuals with integrity. And this is why we should look out for in leaders in our country. We need people with integrity. You will have all of the good things on your platform. If you do not have integrity to implement them, it's not going to work. And women are very good administrators. We make sure things are done to the fullest. So who better to put there? And this is why in district number 5, our first 100 days, we are going to ensure that education, healthcare, and security are prioritized. Our people will once more know that when a leader is in power, they will feel and benefit from it.
Look, Ome, don't get me spirited intellectually, because if you get me the platform, what I will be doing as an emerging political scientist, that what we call political rapporteur, or I will be doing or providing political tutorage on this medium.
Political tutorage?
Yeah.
What is political tutorage?
The art of, tutoring or tutelage. It's tutorage.
Political tutorage.
Yeah. Meaning I will be teaching politically. I'm one of the proponents in propagating the proper agenda, the PAPD. Then today you say, what are open to offer? You supposed to ask me in English?
Are you being supported?
My brother, I'm saying, don't ask me that question. I think the party is under the obligation
to do for you.
Yeah.
But they aren't doing.
You ask me and you want me to be monotonous. I think
what I'm doing for you.
I said, I think the party is under the obligation.
That expression means they aren't, they ought to.
I said, the party is under the obligation.
They are doing it for you directly.
Speak good English, man. I beg you. Let's move on.
You don't want to come straight.
Honorable Sam Andrew, I don't know what you mean. I said, the party is under the obligation because I'm one of the progenitor. I'm one of the proponents in propagating the proper agenda, the PAPD. Then today you say, what are open to offer? You supposed to ask me that in English?
Are you being supported?
My brother, I'm saying, don't ask me that question. I think the party is under the obligation
to do for you.
Yeah.
But they aren't doing.
You ask me and you want me to be monotonous. I think
what I'm doing for you.
I said, I think the party is under the obligation.
That expression means they aren't, they ought to.
I said, the party is under the obligation.
They are doing it for you directly.
Speak good English, man. I beg you. Let's move on.
You don't want to come straight.
Honorable Sam Andrew, I don't know what you mean. I said, the party is under the obligation because I'm one of the progenitor.
So let's move now to the discussion part of the show, having to talk about the bits and the pieces. So you got the campaign on, and the campaign of money. And the law say you must submit it. You must provide everything. The Elections Commission must know how much you're supposed to spend to put it in Liberian term. How much you're supposed to spend. Who's supposed to spend what amount. Who not supposed to spend what amount. All that one. In the election laws, They call it election campaign expenses. Election campaign expenses. That's how they call it. Election campaign expenses. So they say uh, who may contribute. And in the election law, that's 7.1. The election law, yeah, I come in, do my own thing. So you can say, oh, that same Andrew money he put in there. That what the law say. The election law. 7.1, who may contribute as year in after provided any citizen or citizens, political party, association or organization being of Liberian nationality or origin shall have the right to contribute to the funds and election expenses of any political party or candidate. You hear that? You say you can contribute. So I, Sam Andrews, can decide, say, okay, the political party $200 or the independent candidate $300. I mean, are contributing towards such contribution. The law went on to say, such contribution shall be accompanied by filing with the commission such information as the source, the date of the remittance, the amount of such contribution, and such other information necessary or required by the commission. That's the first one. So yeah, what the commission is saying, that as citizen, you get a right to contribute to help other political party or independent candidate. Listen again. That under election campaign expenses, chapter 7, subsection 7.1, who may contribute as year in after provided any citizen or citizens, political party, association or organization being of Liberian nationality or origin, that means you must be a Liberian, shall have the right to contribute to the funds. When I say funds, I mean money. To the funds and election expenses of any, then say some more, any political party or candidate. Such contribution shall be accompanied. That means the commission said this is what you must do. As citizen, you can contribute, you can help political party, you can help independent candidate, but there is a process by which you must do it. You're not going to do it on your own. Such contribution shall be accompanied by 1, filing with the commission such information as the source. That means you tell the commission by document, not by mouth. You tell the commission that you're helping political Tajikistan party with 300, and you must give the source of that 300 you're giving, where the money coming from. The reason you have to tell the commission so they will know they get their way of doing the other things, but they must know the source so that it would not create problem. Because it's possible you can say, oh, you got the money from this place or the other person, or it came from a foreigner and a foreigner not to interfere in our election. So you should give the source. When you give the source, the commission will track. Also, it is possible that you can lie. And so the commission will use that to track. You must give the source of the money. 2, the date of the remittance. If you're sending money, you must give the date that you send that money. That's what they call remittance. You must give the date that you send that money. So if you are a Liberian and you're in the United States or any part of the world and you say, I am contributing to independent candidate Uzbekistan campaign, or I'm contributing or I want to contribute to Tajikistan party in Liberia. That money there that coming, that you sending, the commission must know you must send to the commission all the document, everything. You must send it. The date the wow, the so, everything. 3, the amount of such contribution and such other information necessary or required by the commission, or other information that you must submit it. They didn't stop there. They said no corporate or business organization and labor union may contribute to the funds or election expenses of any political party or any independent candidate, and any contribution made in violation of this provision shall, by the commission, be declared forfeited. So they say, like the labor unions in Liberia, the BB companies, the concession companies, no, they should not temper. They should not do anything like that. And the reason for that, I really know the Elections Commission, they know their reason, or the people who crafted. But what I sense is they're going to have a dominant influence. We know that's just small one giving you see in other countries, By the time labor union or concession company start pumping money into campaign expenses or a given political party, forget it 2 ways. I leave it right there. Like my man Moses Carter used to say, let's leave it right there. Then the money now. Oh, okay. We'll stay on remittance. Remittance of funds from outside Liberia to political parties or independent candidates. In front A, the commission has restriction. 1, no person shall contribute funds or other assets to any political party or independent candidate from outside Liberia unless they are the property of a Liberian citizen who has attained the age of 18 years. No person shall contribute funds or any assets to any political party or independent candidate from outside Liberia if he outside Liberia no. So the commission said the only way that can happen, except they are the property of a Liberian citizen who has attained voting age. While you're sending whatever the assets, it should be a Liberian. But outside that, no. 2, funds or other assets that appear to contravene means going against the law or the principles or rules or guidelines. Funds or other assets that appear to contravene means it's not contravening, but there is a slight. Appear to contravene paragraph 1 shall be transferred to the commission by the party or independent candidate within 7 days of receipt, to be kept by the National Elections Commission in escrow. 3, after investigation, the National Elections Commission shall return the funds or assets to the party or independent candidate to whom they were. That means when you send all the information and investigate within the time frame and they realize that nothing there is illegal, money or property they gave back to you, they will not take it. So they will have to do their investigation first, that transparency. When they realize that you did not go against the law, what you did or what the person did for you outside never ever contravened the election law, based on their investigation, they will give the money back. They will give, if the assets or whatever the materials, they will give it back. That's what they're saying. Listen, after investigation, next shall return the funds or assets to the party or independent candidate to whom they were, if the contribution was not in contravention of paragraph 1, and if it was in contravention, shall return them to the person who sent them or deal with them as ordered by a court. Then 7.3, limitation of election expenses per candidate. And this is the crust of our discussion. I want you to say whether this is actually in effect in Liberia, whether you've observed it in previous elections and now, and whether it's going to be effective. Because if it is not now, it's not going to be effective in future elections. One of the things that has affected Liberia and still affecting Liberia, you find this whole loose spending, extravagant spending. And you get to realize that the National Elections Commission on this is a toothless Buddha. So people just think that though transparency is not a core carrier of this country. I don't want to believe everybody is operating in line with this. 7.3, limitation of election expenses per candidate. Hear what it says. Election expenses shall be incurred or authorized by a candidate and or party beyond the Liberian dollar equivalent of the following amounts. A, for president. A, for president, in excess of 2 million United States dollars. They say in excess of 2 million United States dollars. So you see that this whole lawyer too, they have to revisit it. When you say in excess of $2 million, you aren't saying, except the commission will tell me, or the people will tell me I'm reading it the wrong way. But excess means more. When you say we have excess of 5 million, but we need 2 million. And he said we've got excess of 5 million. That means we have exceeded our target. We've gone beyond, except that we'll say the word excess is within the framework of 2 million. But I don't want to believe. So let us convince ourselves. But as far as I know, that's what it means. There is nothing definitive there. That 2 million is just there. It's just there. So if you said excess of 2 million, you're saying you can spend more. Yeah. That's what you're saying. You can spend more. More money, more than 2 million. And it can't be that way. Not at all. It can't be that way. So let's do it this way. Maybe you say I'm making a mistake, but that's it. They say an amount of something that is more than necessary. An amount of something that is more than necessary, permitted, or desirable. 1. 2. Lack of moderation in any activity, especially lack of moderation. That means moderation, you have a ceiling, you have a target. 3. Exceeding a prescribed or desirable amount, exceeding. So the commission says, say 4, president in excess. That means that the money you should spend for campaign, that is say campaign expenses, for president in excess of 2 million United States dollars. So you know how you know what it is? You know what the commission is saying? Spend up to 5 million, 20 million, 50 million, 60 million. If the commission, if you got to be definitive, spend 2 million, no less than 2 million, no more than 2 million. But you say in excess of 2 million, you're trying to say, or you're saying spend up to 50 million, spend up to 75 million. Vice president, in excess of 1 million United States dollars. For senator, in excess of 600,000 United States dollars. For representative, in excess of 400,000 United States dollars. For any other elected public office, in excess of 75,000 United States dollars. My people, this is why the National Elections Commission can check anybody on campaign finances. That's why when the political affairs man came on try asking him, you just try to be around the bush. So you know what it does for the other people? It put the other candidates in a disadvantaged position. It puts the other political parties in a disadvantaged position. It's just like what's happening in Europe. You know why the people cut down a number of things? People call crying harmonization around. Let me tell you, harmonization in Europe, in the football war, what the various leagues, the various FAs are doing, they are cutting down excess transfer fees and a lot more. And what is the reason? What reason did it give that these elite football teams will always have advantage over the lower teams, and there will be no competition. There'll be no competition because if they're spending in excess and the lower teams are not at that level, what happened? You are gradually stifling them. You are gradually choking them. So there will be no competition. Bring it back in politics. 2 million, excess of 2 million, ruling establishment, followed by the other people, they spend at will. So how can the National Elections Commission do any campaign finance check? At this time in other countries, the political parties, the midpoint of the campaign, you must submit a full expenditure of the expenses that you made in line with your budget submitted. In other countries, they do it. At least to talk about Europe and America. You know why the people on that side, they don't joke with the expenditure if they're soliciting money. I think it was Bill Clinton time. Was it? It was Bill Clinton or Barack Obama. It wasn't easy. He came under strong scrutiny, criticism. They wanted to know, the committee wanted to know where the excess came from. It wasn't easy. They fought hard and defended that to the letter. In Liberia, so this is, in my opinion, they have to look at this. You're spending excess of 2 million. You're telling the ruling establishment, spend 50 million, spend 75 million, spend 80 million, spend 150 million in your campaign. So what happened with the rest of the parties and other candidates that can afford? You have to set the ceiling in a way that it benefits everybody and the competition is okay followed by transparency. But you say, I thought the law would have said for president, 2 million. That means you can't go beyond 2 million. The budget you got to operate is 2 million. You're operating in 2 million. You can't go beyond 2 million. You know why people have in this country parties and other independent candidates? You know why they do what they do? You know why they go extravagant? Because the very law supports them. Can the National Elections Commission bring to check anybody right now? Even the group they claim to have hired, Integrity Watch. Integrity Watch can checkmate any political party, at least to say independent candidate right now on campaign finance or finances, how money is being spent. Integrity Watch just signed an MOU with the National Elections Commission. They get their own money, the size of the 50 million. They eat their own. And they will just call a few workshops, call 1 or 2 press conferences, this and this and that. We are checking on this, we're doing this. So where are we headed? Where are we headed? People calling for a number of things to be revived in our laws. And I think one of them is this portion. We have to amend this portion. This portion that says you must spend in excess of 2 million. So a couple of days ago, it was all around here. People running with it. And elite political party join the other people. They say, they think that vital information they got, they think that confidential information, CDC budget leak of 50 million. One of the elite political parties, their people were running around with it as if to say they are secreting. Nothing secret. They just said that you need to look at the law. The law says in excess of 2 million. Why did they insert the word excess? Because at that time, they didn't want to be checkmated. And look at most of our provisions. Look at the Constitution. You will see too many anomalies, too many lines that need to be looked at as carefully, as judicially as they can, and amendment made for the future. But most of what we have, those laws were written for the time the writers were writing. Some of it to protect them. Excess. So can the National Elections Commission call CDC and say, come, let's see how much you have spent. Bring all of your documents. Can they call the campaign manager to do a financial report to know how much they have spent and how many dollars remaining? You think when they say transparency, that just wake up in the morning, oh, transparency. These are all things. Transparency not in certain people, it's not in certain place. No, transparency is everywhere. That's what national governance is. Transparency is a key component in national governance. Every other thing, you have to be accountable. You have to show. You have to make known. So the law can hold anybody. My people, it can hold anybody. It can hold CDC. Those are y'all who running around. That CDC budget leak, 50 million. If that is true, it is true because it is a proof. Y'all go to the National Elections Commission. Those of you who say, oh, Unity Party budget leak, 75 million. ANC budget leak, 80 million. Y'all go to the National Elections Commission. Yeah, that is law. Yeah, the law, yeah. Yeah, the book. And you see it? Yeah. Yeah, here's a portion. And look up the word excess. For president, they say elections expenses shall be occur or authorized by a candidate. That means that the candidate will approve or the party beyond the Liberian dollar equivalent of the following: for president in excess of $2 million United States dollars, for vice president in excess of $1 million United States dollars, for senator in excess of 600,000, senator 600,000 United States dollars, for representative in excess of 400,000 United States dollars, for any other elective office in excess of 75,000 United States dollars. This section shall not be construed to mean that political parties or independent candidates shall be required to have a defined amount deposited in support of a given candidate for the positions in 7.3.1. Then it came to application and registration. That they want the amount they should pay to register. The amount they should pay for president. The president paid $2,500 United States dollars to register as a candidate. Vice president, $1,500 to register as candidate. Office of senator, $7,500 United States dollars to register as candidate. Office of the member of the House of Representatives, $500 United States dollars to operate. For any other elective public office, the amount shall be determined by the commission and shall not exceed the Liberian dollar equivalent of 50 United States dollars. So that's it. So can the Elections Commission now convince or hold any one of these guys to check? No. So campaign finance is just a theory in Liberia. It's just a say. But no checkmating in this country. No. The craft thoughts of the document made a mistake. If you took another country constitution and you see campaign finance, go to the portion of campaign finance, you'll never see this word that is in ours, excess. They are definitive because when you aren't definitive, you can hold the person to a check. You can hold the person accountable. You can call for accountability. You've already confused yourself. You already put yourself in a confused state. How can you call a person to give account when you inserted the word excess? And it simply means to spend more, to go beyond. So there's an error here. So the guy's spending all over the place, whichever way, and then people complaining. I just thought to talk about it for you because I listen to you, a number of people, a lot complaining. Oh, they want to know the other person spending 50 million. The other person spending 25 million. The other person spending 30 million. And I just said to myself, no, they aren't wrong. You don't blame the people. You don't blame CDC, don't blame United Party, don't blame ANC, CPP, don't blame MPC, don't blame any one of those parties who are spending the way they are spending because they got the backing of the very law that called or that set campaign finances with the insertion of the word excess. So don't blame them. Now, oh yeah, you don't blame the people. They say you must spend in excess. Yeah. So that's the discussion. Is campaign finance, is it effective? Campaign finance regulation. Are the candidates working in line with campaign finance regulation? Is it effective by the National Elections Commission? Does NEC go to this? Is NEC concerned right now about it as we are in the campaign? Let's have you say, let's discuss this on 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Are the candidates within the perimeter of campaign finance regulation or campaign expenses? 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Send your text message on our Facebook page and 0776 36 40 45. It will be read in the next few minutes. So just so you know, yeah, what the word excess mean, an amount of something that is more than necessary, permitted, or desirable. 2, lack of moderation in an activity, especially. And then 3, exceeding a prescribed or desirable amount. Exceeding. To exceed is to go up. Exceeding. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank you. And you?
Okay. I'm just following the program, but I'm not hearing myself on the media.
Say that again, sir. 0770 907 907. You stay there.
Yeah, I'm still there, but somebody else is on the line.
You okay now?
Yeah, but somebody else is on the line. I'm calling from Lower Bonkante.
So let's say it's okay now, I guess.
Okay, I'm okay. Okay. So I'm listening and following to the program.
Yeah, let's hear you. What you got to say?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, I'm getting you.
Yeah, speak.
Okay, I said I'm following the program exactly from Lower Bonkante, former district.
Let's hear you. Say what you got to say.
Yeah, I said I'm following the program from Lower Bonkante, former district. Zoclan to be precise. I am Solo B, the youth. I said this is the election period we are getting into now. We are expecting things, prices to really be adjusted, get down to the level that everybody will enjoy the government. But to rightly speak, we are not enjoying this government because things are not working out well with we the youth.
Is that all you got to say? Okay, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice day. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907 the numbers to have your say on the show Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 within St. Andrews on this 11th day of September 2023 election year. 29 days to go. 29 days to voting time in Liberia. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Okay, something is happening again. Something is happening again. Something is happening. Let's try again. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Obadiah Joe Thomas, and I join you from Morris Fine, District 3.
Let's hear you, Obadiah.
Yeah, these are things that the Liberian need to know of, really. Because sometimes some of our friends, our brothers gather and they ask you things that they don't know of. Sometimes they just talk. But, I appreciate you for you making a doubt of order clear this afternoon. Yeah. So thanks for that.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice day. Good afternoon.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Am I live?
Yeah, you are on the air. You are on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Bits and Pieces with Sam Andrews.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much this afternoon. I'm Steve Darcy calling from Mother Point, Liberia. I've called, to respond to critics and people in the opposition against the government. They are saying that all this government has done, most especially the president and the vice president, the hierarchy of this Congress of Democratic Change. Why I say that they are carrying on, rampant or rapid campaigning. You see, they are talking that if we are, or the government say that they have done, the better about developing this country, Liberia, they shouldn't be going around, campaigning. So I just called to debunk what they're saying, or they have said. It is good that the president should go around, even though the development that he has carried on, but there are other things that I think, the common people there need to see him and tell him there are other things that which he hasn't touched. So it is good that he go around campaigning, to meet the common people, to interact with them, to see other things that they want him to do that he hasn't done. So I get so much annoyed of they saying such. And even they are annoyed and saying that the president should not go around campaigning. It is important that the president go around to campaign.
But who said the president shouldn't go to campaign?
Yeah, they are opposition people. They say, why he said that he's so much involved into campaigning, and if he had done so much well to take him to the second term, he should just relax himself. He should not go around campaigning and so on.
But even if you turn the entire country into heaven, you still have to state how did you turn it into heaven. So that's campaign right there. So don't mind.
I don't know. They are so much annoyed over the president campaign. They are so much annoyed.
Yeah, but that's campaign
no
time.
No matter what they say and do, we know we always we vote this government because we know in the masses.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Christopher Tyler speaking.
Let's hear you, Christopher. Just move away from the radio or cut it off.
Yeah, I'm out already.
Yeah, let's hear you, sir.
Okay. Just in the previous quarter, I will like to make some elaboration that our country is a country that we love. And then come October 10, we should be able to select who we can select wholeheartedly, not by diversity politics. If anybody will see what the current government has done, they should be complimented. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. 0770 907 0880 907. We've got few minutes to go. You're listening to Voice of Liberia Bits and Pieces 104.1, and we are also being heard in Kakata Magibi County on 89.7 and also on our online radio. Thank you so much, Daniel Sally's Secret, for getting everything so effective. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You are on the air, Chief. Yeah, speak louder. My man, when you call, you should be ready. Hey, man. You can cause the people to say what they ought not to say. Talk show host should not be talking to you the way you can talk. I mean, the way the things in you can, yes, sorry, but the way you call, then you just hello, hello. When you call, once you say you're calling, be ready. Take pen and paper, you write down your pointers, and then you hit it because you're speaking to the public, you're not speaking to me. You're only using the radio station to get to the people, the larger society. So if you're there, you talking like somebody who's just waking up from bed, well, it's up to you. Rachel Golab Fale, thank you for following. And you are following, you are watching from Jamaica Row. And you said, thank you for the program and may God bless the management of Voice of Liberia. And may God bless you too. Thank you so much for taking up your time, energy, and resources to join in the conversation. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Send your text message on 0776 36 40 45. We are experiencing some problem with the line. So send your text message on 0776 36 40 45 and it will be read. So that's what it is. That's what it is. The commission can hold anybody responsible. Those of you who think that the certain political parties are overspending, you need to go to the law. An elite political parties will outrightly say CDC spending 50 million. So when I heard that too, I said 50 million? Too much of a money for just few days campaign. But why? Let's agree. I start to rationalize it. Let's agree that they are spending 50 million. Let's take it hypothetically. If they are spending 50 million, yes, they got 50 million because they are the ruling establishment. So we take it, yes, they got 50 million. That's the government. But are they spending 50 million within the framework of the law? So then it took me to the next thing. Common sense page 1 will tell me go to the law. What did the law say on that? So I took my document, the elections law, and then it said excess of 2 million, excess of 1 million, excess of 700,000, excess of this, excess. So I soon reached the conclusion that if you all say a given political party, CDC to be very specific, because they said CDC spending 50 million, then they're right. They're right. So you have to look at the law. That is why very many of us have to be curious, get hold of documents, read documents, ask questions. Sometimes you see these people doing things, not that they are ignorant of it, No, it is within the law. But if you're outside and you have not seen that document, you have not even attempted to ask some critical questions rhetorically, you will just conclude that yes, oh, the people wrong. The boss money 50 million. But your very law say it say excess. So if they had said a political party, each political party or president, vice president operating 2 million, or this political party, each political party operating 2 million as the campaign finance. That means the money they use to run the campaign. That's what they call campaign finance. What you get? You say, what's the finance you want to set up the studio? What's the finance you have to set up the studio? And how many dollars will you need to set up the studio? So then the person say, we need 500,000 to set up the studio. Say, okay, good. We'll give you the 500,000. At this time, you must tell us how many dollars from the 5,000 you have expended or you have used. And at this time, at the close of the studio, when you have completed, you must tell us. And if they realize that you went beyond the 500,000, it means that you sought money from other place, which you are not to do. Then there's corruption right there. But this document is not saying that. The document says excess, spend up to 200 million, spend up to 300 million. So net can checkmate any political party or independent candidate. Net can hold anybody, any one of the independent candidates responsible. That thing they did and said they enter an agreement with Integrity Watch. It's for Integrity Watch to eat their own money. Oh, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
I'm Smokol Matare.
Let's hear you,
calling
Sumo.
You from Bombing County.
How is Bombing County this afternoon, Sumo?
I'm feeling so bad.
Hey, man, why are you feeling bad, Sumo? What happened?
The president visited us here. He went to the church and went to the Christian community of Bombing County. We are named Christian community of Bombing County. And Reverend Labla, we see the motorbike, we see the drums, and just share our other church and let us out.
Oh, Sumo, let's take our time to talk the thing here. Don't worry that you don't want to get the rest of the time. So the president gave motorbikes.
Yeah.
How many motorbikes the president gave?
5 motorbikes.
5 motorbikes. Yeah. And he gave it to who?
He gave it to Labla, Reverend Labla.
Reverend Labla who? What is his last name?
I think Sumo Labla.
Were you there? Were you there when the president gave the motorbikes?
Yeah.
Did you listen to the president giving the motorbike? What did he say? He said the motorbike for who?
For the Bombing County Christian community.
Bombing County Christian community.
Yeah.
And not for a specific church.
Now we work for him, but we have understand our fighting.
So you're saying that you're not going to vote for the president
Absolutely
because
no. Absolutely no. We destroyed our church yesterday. And we now call our church name and we have been there. The motorbike are flying the street now. The drunk have been given to the floor. Reverend Damo then got their own and we out.
But did you go to him? Did you go to him to find out why did he do what he did?
The first thing a leader does do is he will call on the Christian community, have meeting, have the distribution of this lovely case from our president should be like, but nothing like that. We even saw a letter in the church read by our pastor that we'll be having fast and prayer, I think, some part of next week.
So, Sumo, what you wanted him to have done with those bikes that he didn't do?
See that?
What you wanted him to have done with those bikes?
I mean, you call the Christian community and share the information with them, and then we will decide how the distribution can be like.
That's all you expected of him.
I and other churches, Muslim community, other areas, sorry for Georgia.
But what has the president, how has the president committed wrong? Did the president commit any wrong there that you say you will not vote for him? Is the president the person in the wrong, or the pastor who received the bags on behalf of the Christian community?
That's why the two mothers live on the left and right to feed his or her children. As the parent to can respond. We are heard already in the corner. We said our son who can gain the second term. We said we'll get a Ellen Johnson the same thing, and what we can do for
But
it started.
Mr. Sumo, are you a man of God too?
I'm a man of God.
And you are being, according to you, you people are duped by another man of God.
Yeah, remember? That means I really love them. And just live my offering as a father. You forgot about it. They didn't do their own work.
So as a Christian, you will harm somebody who didn't harm you.
Mm-hmm. See that?
I say, as a Christian and a pastor, will you harm a person who did not harm you, didn't do evil to you? In this case, President George Weah went there, spoke to you honestly, and gave you people bags. He's not the one who distributed the bag. So how can you say you people would not vote for him?
I mean, definitely, generally, as well, we have done our college decision. And thank you very much. Now, all the time I have to do.
You are very vexed, eh?
I'm sorry. Yes or no? So that means he's not doing it.
So you does that mean that you have spoken to your congregation that none of them should vote for President Weah?
We have my church has 6 parishes there. Our decision.
Because you say it is your decision.
That is our decision.
What's it?
How do now no meeting evident to that? Why you that would be having a call to go fast and pray? No, you will study in the say you're foreign to in the country. And we study our hey, you just have to play a part because that's how you can become a resident children now to go to school. And that's how you get started. We are talking about that example of the church. But the church are saying, and they are saying that if that no before that church was selected, there should have been a call. They were the just churches. That particular church, and he went there. Every day as gift, there should be a family meeting here. That's beautifying it to prepare for but our decision. It can be withdrawn. We're already there with everybody can give because we want to see the churches grow well.
But where you people got this thing from? If somebody didn't give you people something, or something happened along the wayside, and you reached the decision that you will not vote for the person, where you got this thing from?
Okay, thank you very much.
So if you will not vote for President Weah, who you people as a church will vote for? The person who will come to your church and get your bags. So you will go for the people who will meet your needs.
You know very well that the Old Testament as compared to the New Testament, you have to make one decision from the Old Testament and the New Testament. All are not true, but they are all speak of the same.
All right, Sumo. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
The incredible. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. 0770. It's interesting. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrew. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank you, sir. And you?
Well, thank you. This is a good friend. Adam so as the district number 10 governor, that join my comfort district on the whole members of the respond defending Allah Propo defender.
All right. It looked like we will not see for forever.
Come again?
I said it seems we will not see for forever. You know why I said that? Because I know how many years you say you come in. I can't see you.
No. This time around, it's just that sometimes the schedule can be located because we've been, because of the whole election, something that we've been running after thing. Even if a very bombing at this village just because come from our in a family the other time we were only 12 president in that same country.
All right.
To the,
Let's hear
to
you.
the issue, some of us we are believers. Why it's true that we respect other religion, but some of us we are Christian, and the kind of news that is coming from the Christian community, and most especially, hello.
Yeah, I'm listening, Adam. I'm
Yeah,
listening.
most especially bombing, and that is so dear to the president had on those snow. Our believers other than need to be careful how they take some of these decisions or how they come on the airway to make some of these pronouncements. You see what he just said? That thing is just glaring. Why don't you support the president? I like the question you posed to him. Why don't you support the president? Or you not support the president? People who are against the president said they will get involved into the thing and they will balance the whole entire something. Game were presented to the Christian community. If you have a hair that was represented in that church, or when you say this is given to this church and you know that you're part of that congregation, if the thing they gave, it didn't reach you, what that one got to do with the person who gave the gift? So you see some of the things that they see things can run into government, then other people don't know all the president who is some of the things, these are some of the things, you know, they just clearly the power of him, you are just so you
Very, very interesting to hear. Say, not many bags, though. Not many bags, few bags. But the number of bags is not the issue. But like Adam really rightly said, men of God, you can't do that, man. I know. This is campaign time. You can you more than bike. You more than bike. We can understand that campaign time, everybody 1 year, their expectation is high, ears are open, eyes are shining, hands are being stretched. We can understand that. But you got to you got to set standard. You got to set standard for yourself. If you are at a disadvantaged position, just leave it. It doesn't say that you're not. The president passed along and left 5 bags. If a giving your fellow minister did what he felt was right in his opinion, well, just leave it. Move ahead. You don't have to come and say, "Oh, you'll not vote for the president." So, what did the president do? He didn't do. If the president passed, just speak to you and go, and then you raise your guy. You say the man pa he even gave Usodrin said, or the to say the African way. There's something that way we can buy into it. But the man left something along the way, something durable, something is souvenirs, souvenirs. Because when you're saying souvenirs, you're saying materials. That's what it means. You're saying materials, money, not souvenir, money, not gift either. So why you would turn your anger against the man who gave the gift? Then it's unchristian. Even if Angel Gabriel were to come down and sit before you, Pastor Sumo, he will tell you, don't go preach. Don't get on that pulpit for 1 month. Because you will not have the conscience to tell anybody anything. Love, goodness, giving, and on and on. You will not. Your conscience won't be clear. Moreover, it's the second thing I sense there, it is not a resolution. It's not a resolution that you vote for President Weah. No. People take advantage of these things, but people, you're opening your eyes, you're listening good. What is dominating all over the place? We will not vote. October 10, 1. We will disrupt the election. 2. The election, nobody will campaign in our place. 3. No election will take place. All you're hearing all those things. That what dominating now, that's the topical issue. When a person wakes up in the morning, they get vexed, or wakes up with vexation, they say, we're not voting in no October 10 election. No election will be held. We'll disrupt the election. That's what dominating now. And sorry to say, you people think that you're sounding rational, but that's not rationality. No, that's not rationality. Rationality is where you can put your points through. If it is not in your favor, President Weah can come to this radio station and give what he can give. And if I'm not around, I'm not a beneficiary. If the people attempt to just say buy a surgery, I will be gracious enough. I will not put it against the person to say, you came, you get a poison, and you left me. Oh, that's not the person's business. What the person did was to come out of himself by his gesture to give. So if your fellow pastor went the other way around, face your pastor. You are a man of God. He is a man of God. You can sit down and talk it. Simple as that. But to come publicly and say you're not support the president, I'm not in support of president. We are neither or any one of those people. But I'm just telling you because you said that you people had earlier decided to support him. So when you resolve, if something happens along the way, it can change your mind. It shouldn't change your mind. If you change, then you are not a partisan. If you change, you are not a partisan. If I say that I'm supporting this person, I know that along the way there will be difficult times, there will be disappointments, there will be trials, and all kinds of stuff. And as we face those difficult periods along the way in the campaign, it would not cause me to change from my decision not to vote my candidate, except that I'm pretending. That's the only way. But once you are a fanatic or a partisan or a loyalist, there is nothing about your candidate will discourage you. If you made a decision to support that person and things are happening and the person don't know, as far as the person concerned, everything is okay. But within you people terrain, it's not okay. So I can't vent my anger on the person. I will vent my anger on the person who received the gift and tried to misuse the gift. But my resolution will remain to cast my vote for my candidate. That's how it is. So you stop saying all those things around. You think you're sounding rational. That's not rationality. Oh, there'll be no election. We'll disrupt the election. There'll be no election taking place. I'm not voting for that man. Oh, come on, man. Position yourself well. Men of God, you don't engage in those kind of things. They'll pick you up. You're funny over. Look at the number 5. After the men are going to who have said 25 or 50 or 75, 5 bags for the Christian community. Okay, yes, that's true. The bags are not many, but it can be positioned as strategic. You can divide 5 bags within that community, used for community development, used for transportation and other things. You can do that. But you know what happened in this country? Whenever something is around or big person is around, the person who is influenced receives it, feels that he's the law and gospel. Moreover, that a house should benefit first. You see that happening all over the place, all over. And what will it do for you? It better you maintain your reputation than to place a stain on your character that after election, people will stay point fingers at you. They will stay condemn you. And they will even take it on to your child or your children. So you have to be very careful. If they give you something to divide to people, give it to them. Give it to them. Even if you are the sacrificial lamb of receiving nothing, let it be. At least you have received good name. Nobody will look at your daughter or look at your son and say, your pa ate our money. The president came here, he gave 5 bags. Your pa carry your pa that roll. Move from here, man. Nobody will say that to your boy or your girl. But if you think that because that campaign time, so you should take everything onto yourself, you are the boss. It will affect you. Your name will be in the people's mouth. It will affect your children. Everywhere they go, once the people get to know, they say, "Laying there, a part that roll. The president gave 5 by a pastor, the by carried to a hall. Why you don't care the part of the hall?" I see you, man. I see you. Thank you ever so much for being with us. We're back tomorrow, if God permits. My name is Sam Andrews.
Don't trouble nothing too much,